There are some people who use silence to run from their responsibilities. The moment you ask them of children's school fees, they get angry and they won't talk for 3 days. The moment you send them a message, I'm pregnant, they put off their phone. They won't talk to you again, using silence to run away from their responsibilities. And so because of that, there are some people you can't correct and you can't talk to them about what they must do because you are scared that the moment you tell them what they should have done and they didn't do, they quickly go off. And most of you can handle silence. So because of that, you allow people to just feel free in their irresponsibilities. And there are those who use silence to shield their selfishness. They want to go off in the name of I'm busy and all that, and I don't have time these days and I am quite busy, and because of that, don't call me. We are not going to talk in the day, we will only talk in the night because I am busy in business, I am doing business, I'm in ministry, I'm tight, I'm that, and we are only going to talk 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week, using silence to shield something. They are being selfish. They want to be into themselves, and then they try to use the method of silence to guide. Oh, come on, I am quite busy, I'm meditating, and because of that I can't talk to you. Because at the end of the day I am the type that I don't want to get mingled with certain things at this time of the month. It's my menstrual flow and it's that, and I don't want to you are selfish. You are selfish. I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like getting involved with things. And they're dialing numbers. And there are some people who use silence as a protest. When they want to protest, they know very well that you are not comfortable when they go off. And because of that, if any issue comes and they have to confront the issue, or they want their way around an issue, the next thing is that they go off and they just want to use silence to protest, to have their way. And because you really want peace, and there are some of you, you can't handle lack of communication. So because of that, you just allow things to go, and there are many problems that goes unsolved because silence becomes the highest problem. And because of that, you, in your quest to try to solve the problem of silence, you let go of the real problem that you wanted to handle. So the person goes to cheat, and you want to confront the issue, and then the person goes off, and then now the going off becomes the problem, and you will stretch it for 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. Why are you off? Why are you not speaking to me? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not touching me? Why are you not doing? By the time you realize, the silence becomes the main issue, and then he pushes off the one that he did, or the way he wants to have things done. Silence becoming a protest. When people use silence to ignore, and there are many people who are masters in breaking relationships through silence. They use silence to dismiss you, they use silence to ignore you, they use silence to walk out of relationship. You call them, good morning, yes. Good morning, yes. What? Yes, okay. So by the time he does okay, for the next 2 minutes, you yourself will walk out of the call. And if he does that for 2 weeks, you will not feel like calling him again, or you not feel like calling her again. And we use silence to quickly break the relationship. And there are many people who are masters in using silence to ignore. And the worst of it are people who are in marriages, and they go off. You in the night you say good night, they won't mind you. They put pillows between, divide the bed, boundaries, put pillows there. Everything that they are doing is trying to ignore you. And there is a fast as system that is being accepted right now. That's the man living in his room, the woman living in another room, and then they wake up in the morning, and sometimes for 3 days they don't see each other, because the woman comes, prepares food, put on the dining table, walks to her room, and the man comes back later, eats the food, walks to his room. The man wakes up at 4, leaves the house. The woman wakes up, takes care of children, then leaves by 6:37, takes children to school, and then she also goes to wherever she wants to go to. And gradually, one of them loves that silent operations because he wants to walk out of the marriage. So he wants it that way. And over time, you begin to live like strangers. He doesn't feel like it because it is in his separate room. He watches his pornography and masturbate and make video calls with other ladies and see the nakedness of other ladies and display his utter foolishness. And then there are people who love that silence. It's a nice way to tell you I don't need you. It's a nice way to say I don't want the marriage again. It's a nice way to say that you are no more important to me. And people have used silence as such a tool of ignoring and dismissing people. And then you realize that science has proved it, that ignorance or ignoring people, dismissing people intentionally in relationship is equal to the impact of assault to a person's brain. It's equal. There's no difference. Taking a stick to hit somebody, the impact the stick makes on the person's brain, the impact the assault makes on the person's brain is equal to seeing somebody who wants to be revered by you but ignoring the person. When the person wants you to come all out, that this is the one I love, but you are ignoring it, and then putting other ladies on your status and intentionally writing certain things about those ladies to send a message to your partner that somebody is better than you. I am interested in another person more than you. I am that. You are assaulting. It's an assault. It's an assault. You are damaging the person's brain. You are damaging the person, and you don't know, but you are a murderer. When we are talking about people who assault, you are part of it. There are some of you, when there is an argument, the only thing you will write is to be describing others to your partner. That is why I don't eat your food. That's why I don't go out with you. That's why I don't want to associate with you anywhere. The moment you start belittling people and making somebody know that you are not important, he or she is not important to you, you are killing the person. And it's not just men, there are ladies like that. The moment they see another man, the way they behave will let you know you are not important to them. I am with you in the same house. You didn't do a makeup, you didn't change your clothes. Another man called that he was coming, you go before mirror, you start working on yourself. How do you see me? Who am I to you? Who is me? Who am I? Who I am? who thou art? You are walking with your guy, and then you meet another gentleman and you start blushing. How do they do it? Blush. You start feeling emotional. You start feeling emotional. You know, there are some ladies like that. They will be talking with you, but the moment they hear another man's name, you realize that everything has changed about them. I'm telling you. You realize everything about them has changed. Yeah, their facial has changed, and they want to know more about the guy. Why? What do you take me for? Can I stay here? I tell you, I call you, yes, hello. Another guy call you, hello. Hello. Only I also for this month, sir. assaulting us. Me know nam say who will be pa. I tell you the truth. Say how ya konyina who na ochiani nine ni moku bebu. Killing you slowly. They are assaulting us everywhere. But that's the silent way to tell you that I wish this man was my man. That's a silent way to communicate. Every time you come, he's scrolling through his Facebook page, looking at pictures. Pictures. Many men are dying. It's not only men that ignores women. The women ignores men. Silently. They make you feel so useless. Because another man could buy a car for his wife. And they have a way of always chipping in that family. And how that man looks so responsible in your conversations. There are some pastors' wives that have made their husbands hate me. If you are my follower, be secret. But don't be telling your husband who stands on pulpit to preach as though this one is the one God has called. No matter how your husband loves Pastor Elvis, he'll start hating him. Because you are silently dismissing him by trying to compare. It would have been nice if you say that the way God is lifting Pastor Elvis, I think you carry the same grace. And I'm sure about it that God will lift you. We will soon be like that. It's a wise way to let your husband not feel that he's in competition. But the moment you start to behave as though Pastor Elvis got something right, but you are missing. But it's a nice way to have let your husband know that the reason why I like this man's ministry is because I know God will do the same thing with you. So if he comes to see you listening to my message, he's not moved because you are listening to his future. Yes. Don't use another man to dismiss your husband silently, to let him feel like he's nothing. Subconsciously, silence means I don't need you again. It's time for you to go. And that is unguarded and unhealthy silence. I'm coming to teach you the power of silence in sustaining marriage. That's why I'm taking my time to let you know the unhealthy part of silence. Making the person feel so unimportant that he has to walk away. There are some people who are extremely happy until the subject of their partners are mentioned. Silence is not lack of communication. Silence is also a language. Silence in itself, the world will tell you it means consent. And it's such a powerful language. You can communicate everything through silence. Rejection through silence. Love through silence. Acceptance through silence. Everything. It is the only language that can communicate everything perfectly. Riding on the atmosphere. The best communicators in this world are silent people. And they can get to your heart without missing words. Those who speak a lot are not able to express themselves like those who communicate through silence. Don't use silence as a passive aggressive means. Passively aggressive. I'm not saying actively aggressive. When we go out, they are the calm ones. But when we come in, he won't talk. But back it insults your generation. If you read meaning into it, it will insult your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, yourself, and even children you will born. They are passively aggressive in silence. And if anybody sits on the matter, they will be defended because they didn't speak much. And even when the case is being addressed, they won't speak. Quietly and silently, Do you know that the most dangerous criminals on earth don't talk? Even after they have been caught in the courtroom, they don't talk. Nothing changes in their face. If you rule 60 years in prison, they are watching you. If you say life imprisonment, they are watching you. After that, they walk away. Why? Because they have a way of living life inside. They can kill you and put you in fridge inside, and they'll be watching you, because they've tested to know that the best means of success is silence. Speaking words only expose you. You are not powerful. You obey Jawon Kasa. Nitrimu wa narrate divorce letter. Do you know that anytime you talk, you are dispensing frustration? So anytime you talk, you are freeing yourself. So by the time you finish talking, you don't have power to act. But if you don't talk, you are accumulating energy. So people who don't talk are mostly very dangerous, because the next action is real action. Next action. Have you not realized that people who threaten a lot don't have record of crime? They don't really have record of crime. I will leave you. I will leave you. You are in the relationship 6 years, I will leave you. 7 years, I will leave you. 8 years, I will leave you. What you are dispensing all your energy. You be jawon one kasa. 3 months, ube checking the WhatsApp sa oni so wa block you. Ube search it, go away, does it come online? Wa block you that. Ube go Facebook, ube checking the friends in your, ube searching the things or the DMP. Wa block you that. Block nation. The dangerous part is they will not even tell you I'm leaving you. Silence is a nice way. If you don't take care, silence can make you dangerously aggressive. And because you are a very quiet person and you are not talking, you don't have people to really guide you out. So everything remains inside and it keeps accumulating. So it's only the one that you are dating, only the one that you are dating that knows that you are a criminal. Pastor doesn't know. Parents don't know. Friends don't know. They all say you are quiet. Your guy is quiet. But you are the only one that knows this guy. He's a criminal. Is this nice gentleman? Me who no grand man ya. Uni mama me for no. I say a branch then the whole show. A branch then the whole show. Me won on pekasa on pen and wasam. Who na say din oba sorry for a point ya din or no be ankasa no akofro ne ka no akọ abrantie we no agya no akofa we ya de ba bia no okobe ba bi omu koba no they are dispensing all their energies. They have no action to show. Now quiet people, it is only those who are dating them that can tell. All quiet ni nyina okofro ne ka no send a message. Did you see the way that guy was watching you? Nyo pekasa no obi so tokra ohun. Obi bepe okra ohun dino. Their eyes are microscopes. Shit. What do you say out in the chins were who? Praise the living God. Give somebody a high five. One corner in China or Bebadechi or Beshao. Who is giving you a high five? And the parents will be, oh, this one is calm. Very sometimes people who use silent methods can be dangerous. That's if they don't handle silence well, and silence begins to turn them. Because if this mouth is not working, the brain works. And if you allow the brain thinks so many things at the same time. So very quiet people is either they are using the brain to be very creative or to be very destructive. Einstein, as at age 6 or so, couldn't speak. So all this while that he couldn't speak, his brain was, so the man's IQ could work, his brain was effective, yet his mouth couldn't stop talk, so he was not distracted. We call them psychopaths. They don't talk, they don't like people, they are away, but they are employed by nations to create things. They can imagine. Listen to me, most of the NASA development predicting the future and predicting space and all that, it's not only machines. They have psychopaths with them who can think beyond Earth and step into space and say, we feel that Mars, these things can be going on there. The richest man right now, recently he came that the world will come to an end very soon, so he's planning of relocating. US is your breakthrough. Somebody is trying to relocate from the earth because he has seen that the earth is coming. The very message we've been preaching, that Jesus is coming, the man has predicted it. He has seen it. He said he sees the earth is coming to an end. He has to find a way to. And look at the money he is wasting and spending in trying to go to space to find what is there and where we can really inhabit, should in case something happens to it. Anoni adwini nya adwuma mum. Sa no ye adwuma adwini sisi. Adwini ye adwuma no sisi. So anybody that is able to shut his mouth exposes his brain to creativity. And if those people are allowed, if your wife stops talking, be sure that the silence is for good. Otherwise, what is being created? If your husband stops complaining and shuts the mouth, you should know the brain is working. If your boss stops complaining, your greatest advantage, listen to me, your greatest advantage is to have people talk to you. For somebody to tell you, you didn't do this well, you didn't do that well, you didn't do this well, is your advantage. Silence can be dangerous if it's not guarded. Silence is a way, many people use it as a way to flee from their mess, and that is emotional immaturity. The moment your partner finds out that you mess up, you go off, get angry, you will not pick his calls again, you will not pick her calls again, you block her, you block him, you will not flow with the person, you don't go home for 3 days, for 1 week, and you use silence as a sort of punishment until the person gives up on whatever he was seeking explanation into. He gives up, and then you come back again. You are an abuser, you are a manipulator, and you are a coward, running away and not taking responsibility of a mess you have created. And that is what many of us have used to really survive in certain marriages, because the moment issues are brought up, then you explode in silence. You won't eat food again, you won't come home, you won't pick calls, you won't pay children's school fees, you block everybody. So certain weird lifestyle, and then by the time everybody is uncomfortable around you, then the very people come back again and apologize, and then life moves on. You were a kid, a boy in a man's body. We take it everywhere. It's not just relationships, work, business, ministry. I've been a pastor for quite a while. There are some people that the moment you correct or rebuke them, they go off. They won't come to church. If they will come, they will intentionally come late. They will decide to ignore the very thing they have to do, just to let you know that don't mention my case again. Otherwise, you won't get me to do what I have to do. That is how some people stupidly use silence to want to get their way out and to protect their mess. protect their mess, especially when people realize that they play a very important role in a sector, in a company. They are the only ones that can handle this particular thing, and then the foolishness of silence step in. So as at the time they are needed the most, they go off, and then it continues till a replacement steps in. Because no matter who you are, there is a better version. There are some people, the moment you talk about their flaws, they tell you, give me time to heal. Give me 6 months. So let's put the relationship on hold for 6 months. Let's separate for 1 year. Let's separate for 2 years. There are people like that. The moment you touch their mess, they withdraw. There are some people who enjoy being clapped for even when they are fooling. Why? Because probably they are the only man in the house. Mother gave birth to just one boy, and the boy is untouchable. Mother gave birth to one girl, the girl is untouchable. And then and sometimes when such a young man is messing up in marriage and you go and mention it, the mother will sit somewhere and say, yes, there are people like that. A young man goes to complain that my wife is misbehaving in the house. After trying to say she has gone off, it's becoming worse. And you'll find a family member says, Fabra, Sani and then this time. We've managed her till this time. So if you can't manage her for 2 years, you bring my thing to me. Instead of parents to stand in and correct, they rather encourage their daughters and sons that if you will not accept who you are, come home. And silence has been people's main work in protecting their own messes until destruction hits them.